Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the Team Liquid Legacy Star League round of 16. It's going to be the final group of this round, Group D, with these players. We have our final invite, Skzlime against Rams in the first match, and then True Touch versus DeWalt in the second.
Yes, we do. And just got some rather terrible news, Sale. I'm sure you'll have seen it by now as well.
What is that? Everywhere. What is
that? That if DeWalt doesn't get through Group D, there will be no Protoss in the round of 8.
Huh.
Which is, you know, terrifying for me as a StarCraft lover and commentator.
But who's gonna kill all the Zergs?
Well, exactly.
What do we do, Elegant?
I'm deeply concerned about this turn of events because that would mean that we just had this kind of Zerg fest, and Terror would be like our last bastion of hope. Well, Nemu as well because he's a race.
Elegant, who are we gonna cheer for if there's no Protosses?
Well, I don't know.
What do we even do?
I don't know.
What will our purpose be?
I'd have to pick names out of a hat before each cast, I think. And then be like, okay, this is the guy who I love for today, so I'm going all out on it. But
well, we could ask Nemu to only play Protoss because he's random, right? He claims he can play all races evenly, so we can ask him. We can also ask him to maybe fix your mic. You're back.
yeah, I have no choice but for yeah.
Oh man. Also Rams. If Rams plays against Terran, he picks Protoss. But no, that would actually be very, very sad.
That would be very sad indeed.
All right. So pick two in this group, Elegant. Who are you picking? Who do you want?
Who do I want?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for start, I'm gonna have to say Rams. No, DeWalt rather. What am I even saying? Oh my god, my brain is just absolutely frying. So I'm gonna say DeWalt and Skzlime. I'm gonna say Skzlime.
All right. And is that different from who you think is gonna advance?
I think True Touch is gonna go through. I've got to say that.
Yep.
Touch is really, really good at StarCraft. Yep. And, you know, that's mainly what's on show right now, and that's mainly what's being challenged. So I think True Touch is probably gonna go through, but I would like to see some more racial representation. So I'm gonna be rooting for Skzlime and DeWalt in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Skzlime actually had an amazing interview. If you guys haven't read it yet,
he did.
Go check out the preview article that the lovely TLS staff wrote for today, in fact. So I think there's a link to that on the front page. If you check that out. Skzlime's interview is actually hilarious. There have been some amazing interviews this TLS. Several people have done it, like Andres was amazing, Terrors had some really great moments as well.
Yeah.
I think Michael's was really good. So
Nemu's just a character all the way through.
Exactly. So a lot of hilarious guys here.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, you know, aren't really familiar with these foreign Brood War players anyway, so it's a good chance to kind of get to know them as well.
Yeah, I think
who you're rooting for.
Yeah, interviews are actually really important for that reason. It kind of gets people a little bit more involved because, you know, good Brood War is great and everything, but when you kind of put a face to a name and a personality behind it, it makes all the difference, I think.
Indeed. So, our first match, Skzlime versus Rams. They're both listed as Terran. Well, Rams might not be, but Rams is race picker, as we've already said. He does play PvT, so it is going to be a PvT for game 1.
Here it is.
Here we go. And here we go in the bottom left. Whoa! As the red Terran, we have Skzlime, and the bottom right as the yellow Protoss, we have Rams.
Whoa, so it's up to me to make the beginning of the game screw up. I've got to leave myself muted or for my audio to cut out or something. That's not your job.
Well, it's still the beginning of the game, Elegant. You still have a chance.
Okay, well, we'll just kind of let it happen. I was about to take a drink of water, so maybe I'll kind of spill over my keyboard or something.
Perfect. Anyway, we do have close positions here on Neo Jade, once again going back to lovely Jade, where we saw that PvT or the first PvT rather, between Draw and Terror.
Back when we still had hope. Remember those days?
Oh, those are good times. Back when, we still had 3 Protosses alive rather than just 1.
Yeah. What days? Oh, next time, eh? But yes, in which, I mean, I don't know. Did they really play to the map that much? I suppose Terra kind of played to the map quite significantly, and Draw kind of looked like he was going to, but his plan didn't quite seem to come through as he would have wanted it to. So we did see a fair amount of map-specific play. So I'm curious to see if we see that same kind of thing coming out of Skzlime, because it's really, really common for Terra to sort of creep across to an early third on this map. And I would imagine that Protoss would kind of gear themselves up to deal with that and to kind of try and break that. So I'm kind of quite curious to see what Rams comes out with right here.
Indeed, and we have seen a few PVTs of him so far, but I don't think he's won a single one, has he? Like,
no.
He played 2 in the qualifiers against Project, and he lost both of those. And I think he played 1 against Terror. Yeah, he played 1 against Terror already in the round of 24, and he lost that one as well. So yeah, not too confident in his PVT. But I guess we'll see. Now Skzlime, on the other hand, I'm not sure about his play just in general. I've been one of the doubters, thinking, I haven't seen this guy play in a long time. He seems to be a little bit out of shape. I've been hearing that from a lot of players.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And by a lot of players, I mean, Draw says it.
Draw. It's always Draw.
It's always Draw.
Where he gets all this information from. He must just play everybody constantly.
Yeah. Dude, that guy knows everything. And by everything, I mean he lost his build order sheet and then, lost.
And then crashed out of TLS. So it appears that being omniscient isn't everything.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he always seems to have the down low.
Because Bakri knows everything too, and he lost as well. Huh.
Yeah. Well,
I guess ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Ignorance is victory.
Yeah.
How does that even work? The less you know, the more you win. We cannot make a good proverb.
The art of war was completely wrong, man.
Yeah. Oh god. There are no good proverbs available from this situation. I think we just have to chalk it down to, bad luck. Or some shit. I don't know.
That's exactly what we'll do. We'll chalk it up to Terran Imba, because that's what Draw did.
Yes, yes, let's do that.
In the meantime, we do see a 1-Rax expand here from the Terran, actually quite common on this map because there is this reverse ramp into the high ground. So yeah, we saw players like C doing this a lot. Or I guess C does 1-Rax expand a lot on every map, but it is a good map for this build. And looks like the probe, I think, he did get turned away by those 2 Marines, so he's just going to head home now. And we don't see anything crazy just yet from Rams. No really indications what this could be. It could just be a 1-gate expand, it could be going for Robos. He's probably going to wait for the SCV to get killed before he does anything. Yeah,
I mean, his decision's still going to be a little way off. You can see he's still got no cash in the bank or anything like that. He's still got that probe kicking around kind of in the middle of the map, waiting to see if anything's coming towards him, but nothing as of yet. So he's going to have to try and flesh out that SCV as quickly as possible. But it looks like he might be saving up the cash to make a Robo or some similar kind of thing. Which could work quite nicely in counter to what Skzlime's doing. Skzlime's of course gone for that early natural expansion, but it looks like Rams not going to do anything drastic as of yet, and might just go for an expansion himself, and I'm not really sure how amazingly that would work out. I think that would naturally put him just a little bit behind.
Yeah, one great response to this kind of 1-Rax expand, especially on this map, is doing some kind of proxy robo into elevator with Reaver, because it's so easy to elevator into the main base on this map. You can see the cliff, there's kind of basically a cliff going all the way around the base. I mean, Michael even used a slow drop effectively on this map against Nemu in their games last week. So that's quite good. But it looks like it is just going to be an expand from behind. He might just take a very quick third in response. Third base on this map, very easy to hold as well, so I could definitely see that happening. It looks like, oh wow, bit of a miss Michael with his Dragoons in the front here, taking a little bit of damage, but that's okay, it's just shield damage. So he's just going to wait for that range to finish, and he can start plinking away at the bunker.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a decent bit of map-specific play coming out from Skzlime, because of course it's always a little bit dodgy finding yourself sitting at the bottom of a reverse ramp from the beginning of the game, so I think it's good to kind of get out and about as soon as you can. But I'm going to reinforce the fact I hope we see something really nice and map-specific from Rams, because he is the one who's going to be responding at this point. Oh, almost managed to put the SCV on his ramp right there on his way into his main. But because Rams is going to be the one working from a kind of behind position, I really, really think he needs to play this out quite cleverly if he's going to be able to really make it work for himself. Meanwhile, we have another factory going down from Skzlime and an academy happening as well, so nothing too drastic from him yet.
Indeed, nothing too drastic. There's a couple more Dragoons coming to come up, going to force a couple more SCVs off the line. You do, of
double
course.
expand.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, as predicted, he is going for the fast third base, which should be kind of okay, kind of safe against Skzlime's opening, because of course Skzlime delayed his factors quite a bit as well, so it's not like he's going to be able to do anything too crazy early on. But I would expect a Reaver follow-up as well from this, and this like Observatory first. To do this double expand or relatively safely, you kind of generally want to get the Reaver, do some Reaver harass, kind of keep the Terran pinned back in his base, and that allows you to get your infrastructure going and get the ground forces out while your third base is kicking in.
And this has cost a significant amount of minerals for Skzlime though. I mean, repairing that bunker really does suck away on your economy at fairly rapid pace. So this has worked out decently enough for Rams so far. And he does have a pretty hefty Dragoon count right there. Skzlime sieging out just in range of those Dragoons. I thought that wasn't going to be in range right there, but it was. It looks like we're definitely not going to see a Reaver follow-up. He's just throwing down extra gateways. So Rams is going to try and go for pure mass. And that actually might work out fairly well against Skzlime. I mean, Skzlime only just now having his natural gas up and running, so we'll see what he's going for. We've got a single armory happening there as well. So, Sale, thoughts on where Skzlime's going with this?
Where's the... there's the armory. I was just looking for that. Yeah, so it looks like Skzlime might just be doing similar things to what Terror did in his TVPs, where, get the fast upgrades, go for the third base, turtle up, and just push. As I kind of said in the last group, getting fourth base on this map is a little bit tricky, and, we've seen TVP go pretty well for the Terran already, so yeah, I think it's probably going to work out quite nicely for Skzlime.
Yeah, I think it probably will as well. And I'm going to start with the Vulture House now as well, which could actually make some decent headway. Look at this. The third base for Ram is actually pretty much undefended, so if Vulture get in there, it could be nasty indeed. And at the natural as well, only one Dragoon. This Vulture Harass can do a whole lot of damage. Do not underestimate the value.
Dragoon's going in the Terran's natural, though. He's trying to snipe the Siege Tank. He's trying to snipe the Siege Tank. There's a couple of Dragoons in range. He does get it, but he's taking so much damage from the range of the bunker. There's a couple of Vultures coming out as well. Looks like he's going to get pushed back by the SCVs. It looks like the counter Vulture Harass hasn't actually gone in yet, but he's going in now. Is it? No. Just waiting around.
Yeah, I mean, if the Vulture Harass was to go towards that third base, I think that would be an absolutely incredible windfall right now for our Terran players. So a really big mistake there and go for the natural instead. That third base is just completely undefended. Look at how long it would have taken those Dragoons to get through all those Spider Mines. I think that's a major, major missed opportunity right there for Skzlime. As his natural is coming under some pretty serious fire, then that would be exactly the kind of thing he needs right now. And he's surprisingly in a whole lot of trouble. I mean, he's having to pull SCVs off the line to defend. Now with the second siege tank sieging up on the low ground, but taking quite a lot of damage there from just 4 or 6 Dragoons as they were originally. I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, I think it's just he didn't know the base was there. I don't think he scouted it yet. I think he still probably doesn't know, actually. Or actually, well, he's got comsats now, but it looks like they've got a lot of energy. Oh no, maybe he's used this one already. Okay, so I guess he does know about that. And the third command center is on the way, gonna float over. So I think it's still okay for Skzlime, even though definitely a wasted opportunity there. Meanwhile, it looks like gonna wall off this third. I don't think that pylon's actually in the correct position to wall it off though. It should make that 1 hex up, and then you can just wall it off with 2. While adding on the gateways as well, and going up to arbiters, it seems.
Yeah, so playing it out pretty standard, and I think he really got, again, I'm going to say, he got quite lucky there with the Vulture Harass. Maybe that's the kind of luck that we need for a process to actually finally get sent through, so no bad thing indeed. And Skzlime looks like he's now going to start really putting things into action. He's going to start getting out on top of that ridge, but it's quite delayed given the timing of the process third base. I mean, Rams is going to be looking quite comfortable. His tech's in decent shape, his gateway count is getting into decent shape, and Skzlime looks like he's going to be playing this quite conservatively with his command center floating out to the third.
Skzlime looks like he's only got 2 guys on his natural gas. Is that... Am I looking... Oh, no, wait. I know he's got 3. It's just confusing because they, like, mingle with the mineral CVs. Alright, never mind.
Oh, that is confusing.
Yeah, right? They're, like, all on top of each other. Anyway, it looks like Arbiter Tribunal is about to finish off as the third base goes out here for the Terran. I mean, everything is pretty standard so far. No major action yet. Both players just kind of poking around here. It's a little bit difficult for either player to actually do any significant damage anyway. Holding 3 bases on this map is fairly easy.
I would have liked to see something timing orientated from Rams right now, because if you look at his unit composition and if you look at the unit composition of Skzlime, if Rams were to have committed to a speed zealot, a kind of speed zealot mass right now, he could definitely be breaking up this ramp because it's really pretty weak. And that's like the kind of thing I meant about map specific play. I think if he'd have really given this some thought, I think he'd be finding himself an opening right about now.
Yeah, I think we saw you know, in Draw's game against Terror, he had a bit of a, or he tried a bit of a poke around at the third as well,
yeah.
and kind of didn't really find a good opening there either. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's something that Protoss need to be thinking a little bit more on this map, especially given how hard it is actually to take a fourth base. Oh, looks like Apocalypse has been forced out of the game. I think there was a little bit of lag or something. So he has been eliminated. That's alright. We shall carry on. We shall sally forward.
We'll just have to carry on without him. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to have to push on.
Well, you know what this means? This might mean that these players can actually start talking in the game. Because, you know, if Apocalypse is here, that's not allowed. Not allowed.
But without
and we have a
his
double expand.
authority. Oh, we have another 2 Nexus going down for Rams. Wow. Looks like some Vultures are going to be able to sneak around and they're going to be able to get the dirt on what's happening there. They're going to see at least the natural expansion going on. And probably going to see the main as well. Yep, going to be able to snipe out the probe and head on straight into the main. So they're going to know the deal. I'm not quite sure what he can do about it though, because an extra 400 minerals, whilst it's a significant investment, at this stage of the game, it's really not going to take away from the army of Rams too much.
Ooh,
he's still going to be able to produce. Wow, goodness, that's actually a major difference. So I guess this really has been a pretty significant build order advantage for Rams. That early third massively taking its toll.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny how that works. You know, first it's Terran saying, oh, I'm going to take the really fast natural with my 1-Rex expand. The Pearls are like, well, you know, I'm going to 1-up you and take a really fast third. It's kind of like playing chicken with your expansions. But uh-oh, looks like a few probes going to get caught here. That's a mistake. Fortunately, it looks like it's only 3 or 4 there. And I don't know, I guess there weren't actually that, or no, it looks like, okay, the rest of them were already transferred there and missed the Vultures. So quite lucky there. And in the meantime, oh man, I'm still not convinced that this pylon wall at the bottom of the third actually walls it in. But I guess we'll see if these Vultures actually attempt to run in there. All right, are they going to go in? No, they're going to go into the natural. Oh wait, no, they're changing direction, and it looks like it does wall. I'm pretty sure they tried to go in, yep.
Yeah,
nice.
So Rams knowing his stuff there, is able to defend any kind of vulture harass, throwing down a couple of cannons at the top right hand corner as well, which looks like they're going to be nicely placed to defend any kind of dropship tank harass, which is always important. Maybe a little bit of a free space at the back behind the mineral line, but the dropship might not be intrepid enough to try and get all the way back through there. And I think the longer this goes on, the better it gets for Rams. Having said that, we do actually, how brilliant. We do see a dropship loading up 2 tanks in the natural as well, so possibly those cannons about to come in very useful for our Protoss player.
Indeed they are, and I'm just seeing there's actually no like observer coverage or anything between the bases, so he's not going to see anything coming. He's got he's got 1 Arbiter though going out. Oh, the Arbiter is going to see the dropship. Oh. The Arbiter actually crosses paths with the dropship, so a little bit of an awkward moment there where it's like, oh, you know, you both see each other trying to do something sneaky. It's like, I wonder what's going on there. Meanwhile, looks like some Dragoons moving up to clear out these Vultures, maybe check out the top right bases, and he's going to catch the dropship. Easy peasy.
Oh, yeah, he catches it. And that's a little bit of a blow for Skzlime. Not necessarily because it's hugely expensive. It's quite expensive, but not ridiculously expensive. But just because he needs to take the initiative back, and that was his chance to do so. And so whilst it's not that expensive in himself, it represents kind of a bit of a loss of opportunity and a little bit more difficulty in actually getting back into this game through something slightly quirky or interesting. He's just going to have to try and take on the army of Rams head on, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that anytime soon. Rams already maxed out, whilst, oh my god, Skzlime is way back on 148 supply. This is major stuff, and recall going into the natural.
Where's he going to go? Don't go on the mines! Oh no! Oh god, he killed nothing! Did he even kill a unit? Did he just kill a vulture?
No. I might have been an SCV die.
That SCV just happily building the turret where everything just died. Oh man.
Do that? because he had free run to go directly into the main.
I think maybe he suspected that the main was mined up and he wanted to recall a bit of a weird location so there wouldn't be mines, and he just happened to choose the one location where there were. Like, if he recalled the mineral line, there were no mines there, and there were no mines in the main either. Just the one spot he recalled had mines, but it doesn't matter. Look at this, he's just taking another base, man. He doesn't care. He's just gonna expand again.
He's already maxed again.
Yep.
I mean, his army is just ridiculous. He's got the gateway count. I mean, look at that in his main. Up in the top right corner, he's got a couple of gateways. Still surprised he's not spreading his gateways around a little bit more, but he definitely has the count that he needs. But it's one of the most horrible recalls I've seen in a very long time, and I think he just overthought it a little bit and tried to drop it in just slightly ill thought through position. He should have gone way through into the main where there was absolutely nothing to defend, no spider mines. He could even have gone over from the right hand side and probably made his way in.
But the thing is, Elegant, he has just planted his 8th Nexus on the map. I believe, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is in fact base number 8 against a 3-base Terran. I don't know why he's not building gateways though. He's only got 2 gateways at the top right. He really probably should. Oh no, he's got more in his main. Okay, he's got 5. Looks like, wow. Oh man, he's got like 15 gateways in his main or something. Okay,
yeah,
so he does actually have a ton of gateways. Wow, really efficient base use. Oh my goodness, this is a beautiful looking base. Wow. I guess this is what happens when a Terran makes a Protoss space, because Terrans have to be super efficient with the space because of how giant supply depots are.
Yeah.
And because they have all their add-ons and stuff. So I guess Terrans have the best spatial awareness in base layouts.
But this has worked out so incredibly nicely for Rams, and I can't imagine that he's not going to be able to squash his opponent's army. And he's managed to catch in a decent position as well. He's going to be fighting from the high ground against about half his army. The early siege tank volley is taking out quite a lot of Dragoons, and Rams needs to bring in some speed outlets from the back. Oh my god, this is becoming an absolute Dragoon slaughter. Spider-Mine's going off on the high Templar. One distant storm going down, but that's not enough. He's lost so many Dragoons right here, and no matter how good your production is, you cannot afford engagements like that. He's able to take out almost nothing. And loses at least 12 Dragoons there, maybe more.
Dude, Skyline's still maxed, and Rams lost like 40 supply in that one engagement. Although he's remaxed instantly just from the gateways. But the problem is, this push is still rolling, and he doesn't actually have a good position or the units to take care of it. His Arbiter looks like he's got one more stasis on it. It's almost dead. He needs to get a good stasis, gets a couple of siege tanks. Where are the reinforcements? They need to come out of these gateways right now. He doesn't want to engage with just part of the army, although it looks like no detection. Okay, there's the science vessel coming back, and all the Zealots are going down. He should pull back with the Dragoons and save them as a flanking force. Where is the rest of the army? The reinforcements need to come in. No, the Goons should pull back. Now he's wasting the Dragoons.
Yeah, and this is why you place gateways at a separate location as well, so that you can reinforce your army, not have two sort of smaller split armies, which is really not the way we want to be dealing with a Terran. It looks like he has managed to do pretty significant damage to the main ball of Skyline rolling across the map, but Skyline's going to have more of that to come.
Look at the SCV going to the top left trying to make a command center. He's like, wait, what? Why is there a Nexus there? He's just building the command center.
There are Nexus everywhere.
And the probe's going to kill the thing. He's going to kill the thing. Oh man, a few Dragoons sniping 3 siege tanks here in the middle.
Wow, okay, so the reinforcements getting taken down from Skzlime right there, and that's really pretty important. And with that, it looks like it's probably going to be not too difficult to clean up the remainder of this army for Rams. So he does kind of get away with a disadvantageous positioning and engagement just because of the fact he has so much stuff and so many bases at this point. Meanwhile, the top left-hand corner looks like it's going to be retaken by Skzlime, which is probably appropriate at this stage. But nonetheless, that's going to be a little bit of a shock for him. He's going to display a slight lack of map awareness, and Ram's continuing to populate his base. He's got the 12 o'clock base happening. He's got still loads of units popping out of his gateways, but Skyline's coming in with another wave, and Ram's army is once again a little bit split apart. He's going to lose a few units for free, and he's going to have to try and fight at the top of that ramp, but I don't know if he's got the units again with which to do it. And Skyline's continuing to push, and Rams is just looking a little bit weak on his army control and positioning.
Oh man, I thought he actually had a not too bad position there at the top of the ramp, but it looks like this didn't actually have enough units. And now coming out with a few more speed ults here, it looks like we need a scan or something. There's a scan, no detection here, but going to be able to take down, well, actually, the Zealot's going to do a ton of damage here. Where's the rest of the army? Only 3 tanks behind. It looks like Rams is still going to be able to take it here with the might of the Protoss. A few reinforcement vultures coming in. It's such a desperate battle here, but while all this is going on, Skyline finally getting himself a 4th base, but the problem is the Protoss has 1 trillion bases on the map here, so economy-wise, he's actually still not doing too bad, although his army just keeps getting shattered here. He needs more gateways at the top right or something.
Yeah, I mean, he can afford to lose a fair amount of units. Doesn't have to be that cost efficient. He needs to be a bit more cost efficient than this, because as we can see, Skzlime is steadily starting to overwhelm him. Plenty more units coming to the natural right here, and the Zealots are just coming out and they're dying immediately. Nice stasis going down, taking out a bunch of vultures, but the siege tanks are still ready and waiting. So Rams needs a lot more where that came from. All these high Templar going down, he should really be keeping them back. His micro needs to be a little bit careful. It looks like he might finally be able to properly beat back the army of Skyline, at which point he's going to be in a decent position, but he's lost a lot right there.
Dude. The Protoss has actually out-upgraded the Terran right now. He's at 2-2 against 2-1. I don't know how this happened. That's something you almost never see, especially when Terran goes for this 3-base turtle style and they go for really fast upgrades.
Yeah.
And actually, it looks like Skyline's not even upgrading. I think he just forgot, and that's actually a pretty crucial mistake. I mean, that's part of that's a major part in his whole build, is going for those fast upgrades, and just to kind of stop at 2-1 is a pretty huge blunder. And look at how many gateways are in this main, man. Fantastic reinforcements. That's why Rams is able to keep pushing back all these attacks at his natural, just with all those units. But it looks like finally the next at the top right natural, or sorry, top left natural is dead. The top left base looks like it's also going to go down, and Skyline has left the game. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain what has just happened. We had a disconnect in this game. Unfortunately, Skzlime actually disconnected. So one of our referees talked to both players after the game, and they both agreed that that Rams was too far ahead and he had the game won basically. So there was no regame. Skzlime just gave it up, and that means Rams goes on to the winners match.
Okay, so complete lack of controversy there. Thank
Yep.
God. I was becoming afraid of what was going to go down in the stream chat. Don't worry, guys. This was a unanimous decision between the players, so no worries there. And yeah, we're going to be able to move on to the next game. So Rams takes the first match against Skzlime.
Yep, and many thanks to both players for being manner, just talking about it, being like, okay, yeah, game was over.
Yeah.
So no issues at all, which is what we like. Good.
That is what we like.
No
Smooth
drama.
sailing. Smooth sailing.
Yeah, I know some people probably are like, oh no, Terran still could have had it, but I think Rams was definitely ahead in that game. He was definitely in a solid
way
position.
ahead.
Yeah. So good times. That means we're gonna go into the second match. Excuse me, and that's gonna be a ZVP between TrueTouch and DeWalt.
Good times indeed.
All right, see you guys after the break.